Hello and welcome to today's episode of Behind the Scenes and Behind the Screens. And today we're going to take a real candid look at my setup here. A lot of people talking about or asking about the size of the space that I'm in, particularly when it's using the green screen and stuff like that. So two green screen options you can use. In fact, three. One is a pull-up green screen I use in the home office studio. And here in the main office studio, I have a pull-down green screen. Okay, one great option. And again, when you switch over, you can see now the reason I don't really use this anymore and show you the other one is I just want to have that little bit more space because I have a new camera that I'm about to set up in the next couple of days that will follow me around the room. So what I've done is I've actually hung a fabric green screen from the ceiling here. Thanks to Colin in the Hive for helping me with that. And basically just pull it around. And it gives me a lot more space because I am going to be doing bigger production, so to speak, even within the small space. So then when I hit the Stream Deck button, I switch over and I'm there using the green screen. And then, as you probably have seen me do, and if not, feel free to ask, but you can then use the Stream Deck switch to transition into a presentation or show another screen, come back full screen, make a countdown timer appear in front of you, address the elephant in the room, as you've possibly seen me doing before. But the key is to have even light on the green screen. So this is part of a series of live streams that I do called No More Gear Fear, where I remove the fear from using the gear that I use. So a lot of people kind of look like this when they think about going live, doing webinars, making courses, turning on a camera. This is kind of how they feel. They have a fear of the unknown. They have a fear of being on camera. And I'm here to I'm here to actually remove that fear. So practice is a big part of it, but also having the right setup will give you that little bit more confidence on camera, the right lighting, the right sound, and it is not expensive. Relatively speaking, for the amount of budget and space that you need, you really can transform how you turn up on screen. So in the last episode of No More Gear Fear, we went through the different microphones. So shotgun, lavalier, USB, desk microphone, the different options. So today what we're going to go through are lights, and really lots of different options, and it's critical that you have ample lighting on your face. So if I just take my phone here and open up the app that I use that comes with the lights, you can see I have a few lights going on. So if I turn them all off, you can see what happens. You look like you're in a witness protection program. So let's say I turn on the key light behind me. That is basically the key light or the hair light. Doesn't really make much sense until you start using the green screen. So what I have is one light on the left, off to the left, and one off to the right. And they're the ones that light me up, so to speak. I have them relatively low in terms of the percentage that you can turn them up to. So, for example, on the app, you can just basically turn them up by swiping right, and you can see how bright they get. So they are Elgato key lights. Let me just turn it down a little bit here. And they are front-facing, they're edge-lit LEDs, not front-facing. You should avoid using front-facing LED lights. So front-facing LED lights are typically lights where you can see the bulb. Let me turn them all right on again. So if you can see the little bulb or rows of bulbs in the LED light, that means it's front-facing as opposed to edge-lit. And I highly recommend that you get edge-lit LEDs. So if I switch to the other camera, and I point the camera at it there, and I turn off the lights. Maybe not so much. Okay, so that is one of the lights that is attached to my desk, okay? And I have another one on the other side. So one left and one right. Pointing down slightly, to not be too harsh on the eyes. But the great thing about edge lit LEDs is they're not hard on the eyes, okay, compared to front lit LEDs. And they give a more natural skin tone color, which is really important as well. So highly recommended. Attach them to your desk. Avoid using tripods so that you don't trip across them. So really, really great lights to use. And then behind me, then I have the key light that is shining down on the back of my head to separate me from the background. So for example, if I'm using an office background like this and you stand in the right perspective, the reason that it's so sharp and so clear, and you could blur the background a little bit if you wish, is that key light is shining down behind me. So if I change to the Insta360, you can see the edge lit LED there as well. And if we go to this camera here, the key light is just above me pointing down. Okay. So really, really important to have that key light to give, you know, if you are going to use a virtual background in Zoom or whatever, a lot of the time, the reason people look fuzzy is they don't use a green screen. And if they have a green screen, they don't use it properly because they don't have even light on the green screen. So you need even light on the green screen to make sure that that natural background is going to work for you. And then you can embed the logo. You can see if I go in behind the logo there, it's an overlay using the software. Okay. And you can see that I have a green oval there because my logo changes color when I move away because it's green. So that is the key light. And then I have ceiling lights as well. So the ceiling lights are lights that light up the green screen. Okay, so essentially what you need is two lights at least shining on the green screen. If I switch over here to give me nice even light on the green screen. Okay, so that's how they work. So essentially, if we switch to the Insta camera here, and I go for the ceiling key light, you can see it there as it zooms in. Okay, so let me zoom back out a little bit. And you can see the key light above me there. So there's two of them attached to the ceiling. They used to be on tripods. The reason for not having them on tripods anymore is because tripods are a liability in a small space. So easy to kick them, trip across them, you know, just not good. So ideally you have no tripods. So mount your front facing lights on your desk and then wall mount or ceiling mount the other lights if you can at all. And then the key light is attached to the ceiling as well. Not necessarily an easy thing to do in a home office where potentially you're going to have to drill holes. So what I do in that case is I have two lights mounted to my desk just behind my shoulders. Okay, so they're out of view of me. You can just about see them in my peripheral vision, but they do shine on the green screen, which means that I can control the light on the green screen. And then I have two in front of me on the home office desk as well. So they're essentially the lights, two in front, two on the green screen, and one key light. So 5 lights in total. And it really makes a massive difference to how you're going to show up on screen. You know, if you've ever been to a professional photographer or you've been at a wedding, and you'll see lots of lights and flashes, and even outside sometimes in a TV production, if you see behind the scenes, even outside, you will see the production people with lights, even outside. So cannot stress how important it is to have good lighting when you're doing your live streams, any videos, when you're making courses, and ideally ones you can control. Very, very useful to be able to take up your phone with these Elgato lights and actually adjust the light as you're looking at it to see, is it, you know, are you washing yourself out? Is it way too bright? You know, just unnatural, overexposed, almost kind of washed out kind of look. So you can take your phone and with these Elgato lights and possibly other ones as well, you can just adjust. I have it about halfway on left to right. You you see some people turning down one of them a lot more than the other and turning up the other side, if I do that just to exaggerate. So what that is known as the cinematic effect. One side is a lot brighter than the other. So the cinematic effect, or the 3D effect, really is to get you to pop even more on the screen. And that's an example of it there, where you're almost half your face is in shadow and the other half is quite bright. But again, it depends on your skin color and tone. But the ability to be able to slide these and adjust these is pretty powerful. So we'll just put them all back to halfway. You can change the temperature, but really your lights should be set to 5,400 Kelvin. That's the equivalent of natural sunlight. Okay, so it's not going to be glaring, and then you can adjust the level of that as well. I mean, if you turn them up to fully orange here, you can get that kind of orange look, which you don't really want. So keep the orange levels low to actually none at all. So nice white level there on all of them. And then just leave those, make a note or make a screenshot of those presets if you wish, and then always use the same settings. Particularly if you're making courses, you don't want to have a dramatic difference between one video lesson and another, or indeed one live stream and another. I mean, that may happen over time if you improve, which I would be encouraging you to do, to improve your setup, but not within the middle of particularly a video, or indeed within a course. And then you can, as I say, overlay the logo with the software. You can see I can go behind the logo there as well. And then with your Stream Deck switch, you can appear inside some software. You can make people appear. But this all happens as a result of, or is possible as a result of, good lighting. Okay, so that's today's live stream, all about the importance of good lighting when you're making videos, when you're doing live streams, when you're making courses, and really, really important. So we've gone through mics, we've gone through microphones, and in the next live stream, we will be looking at cameras, the different options that are available on budget. Again, we did look at it before. We will look at it again because we get lots of questions. I mean, and related to lights too, in terms of camera, it's better to have $100 camera and $1,000 worth of lights rather than the other way around. Not that you need $1,000 worth of lights, a couple of hundred. So, you're not going, no camera, unless you spend a fortune, and even then, is going to replace good lighting. So it's important to have the right level of lighting with a reasonable camera, and you will be able to have a very professional, crisp and clear look to your live streams, your courses, your webinars, your meetings, etc. So hope you enjoyed it. If there's any questions, by all means, please reach out in the comment section wherever you're watching the live stream.